Good morning. You fancy joining footballtradingprofits.com? Click on the link at the website, or at least sign up for the free Premier League research, which I'll be sending this evening for another exciting Premier League set of fixtures. So this is the link for the free trial offer. If you wait a while, you'll get the Betfair trading made easy. Get the free course and the free research for the Premier League. It could have been a lot more productive last night, a lot more profitable last night, I think, had I just used a bit of my nous and the in-play stats. For example, 0-0 at half-time, Brentford and Manchester City. As part of your Premier League research, you'll get the 2.5 goal stats. What they would have done is point you in the right direction. Let me show you. So really, should have taken the Brentford and Manchester City draw on second half. Why? Well, let's have a look. 75% overs all season for Brentford, 70% all season for Man City. Last 8 matches, 75 for Brentford, 62 for Man City. Brentford at home, 80% overs. Man City away, 60% overs. So you don't have to be Wayne Rooney football genius to lay that draw second half, or even the speculator back overs second half. So that one went astray, which was a pity. Chelsea and Bournemouth. Well, there's a new set of stats at the in-play guru, second half scoring stats. And they would have lit up for Bournemouth, who did equalise against Chelsea. I wouldn't have laid Chelsea's lead because of their in-play stats themselves, utterly dominant. We could arguably have taken on the 1-2 for Bournemouth late on as well. So left a bit of profit out there yesterday. Reece James, 95th minute. Again, all down to the late in-play stats. This is why having an in-play stats feed, paid for in-play stats feed, will pay for itself over the course of a season. This won't tell you the 90th minute exploits of Chelsea, but it showed you the second half, 13 goal attempts to 6. Really good stuff from Chelsea. 9 shots inside the box, so really going for it. You could have taken that 1-2 on without it costing you too much. This worrisome London derby, new manager. But what I did do, taking on that idea, was to lay West Ham 3-1 up. This turned into 12 quid profit. Just with a 3-2 for Fulham. Fulham's in-play stats were excellent. New manager bounce, about 15 minutes to go, and Fulham something like 13 shots off target. And the London derby element, all put in together. Well worth laying West Ham at very, very short odds. We've got a nice bounce up to 1.3, 1.35, just for that single goal to make it 3-2. And that's your in and out. It's about a 6-1 return. It's all relative, of course, to the amount risked. Only £2 liability here, turning into about a £12, £13 green screen. So it's all relative. It's an excellent return there. Nottingham Forest and Liverpool. Well, if you look at soccerstats.com, Nottingham Forest have trouble scoring that second goal against the top 8. That's what we were hinging our hopes on. You couldn't go Liverpool +1. It was only 1.46. But you could have made a marginal gain at that draw. But what I try to do is I give you a loss on the draw, a small loss on the draw, in the hope of getting that winner for Liverpool and a bigger profit. Wasn't to be. And, well, this lot are just excellently drilled defensively, aren't they? He's really got them purring from a defensive perspective, making it very, very hard for teams to score against them. Liverpool did deserve the win, to be honest with you. If you look at their in-play stats, again, we can't look at the 90th minute onwards, but they were touching the attacking pressure index. 14 goal attempts. Don't forget, this is second half. This isn't the whole match. 11 shots inside the box. one hit the woodwork. So we were very unlucky not to have got the win for Liverpool, but we did get the draw. Holstein Kiel and Dortmund. Well, this would have been a one for you to attack. I didn't arrive home. I was meeting a friend. But you got a 3-0 lead at half time. You take that on. Really take that on. And you can get out here at 3-2 with a really good swing. We hoped with that red card that it would be 3-3, but no, 4-2. Old Arp, the mighty Arp, getting the late goal for Holstein Kiel in a big surprise result. But a great recovery, near recovery. You could be backing Dortmund laying Holstein Kiel at half time, 3-0 down. Hopefully you spotted that yourself. Bayer Leverkusen, you don't score first half. Again, second half. This is what I'm talking about. 1.6 second half goals stats for in the in-play guru. Let's see if I can get that up. It's just a new set of stats now. You can see I've got that ticked here. Goals scored second half average. It brings up this column here. 1.6 for Leverkusen yesterday. 1.4 for this lot. So watch out second half if they don't score. So it's a nice addition to the guru. You could have laid the draw second half. Eintracht Frankfurt. Well, I did mention it in Telegram. I hope you took action. Freiburg scoring first. And a quick response from Eintracht Frankfurt to make it 1-1. Could have laid that draw second half as well, particularly, again, the in-play stats proving crucial to your decision-making yesterday. 12 goal attempts in the second half, 6 shots on, 4 block shots, 3 big chances, and a partridge in a pear tree. There we go. Wolfsburg and Mönchengladbach just had a tickle in the half-time markets here because Mönchengladbach's first half in-play stats were excellent, but they didn't convert that pressure into goals and they were done. It doesn't cost you much to get involved in the half-time markets. Hopefully you've got on this one. Old Perry Como, Cesc Fabregas' side, taking the lead against AC Milan. Again, I wasn't home by then. 60th minute goal, well worth taking on, particularly with some late goal action in Como matches. If you look at some of their previous fixtures, there has been late goal action. I don't know if you'll see it in the Lazio match, 72nd minute goal. You certainly see it in the Roma match for Como. 2 90th minute goals. So there are late goals in Como matches. Soccer Stats, of course, is the great place for you to view that. So I hope you got on that before I started my session. Again, in-play stats. This is for me a derby-style match, so I'm not necessarily going to be playing this. But again, in-play stats had Juventus quite clear as the first goal scorers. If you're used to following me in a live stream, you'll see the attacking pressure index. It hit 100 for Juventus. But this is, for me, a derby-style match. Not necessarily going to be trusting those kind of stats. So the big boys did perform yesterday. We left a lot of profit on the table, which was a pity. Cardiff conceded, I think, 13 goals in the second half. So we really should have taken on that 0-0 second half. But their in-play stats did suggest that they would score first. So we were stuck between a rock and a hard place there. Plymouth and Oxford, much of a muchness, that one. Don't forget new manager syndrome for Plymouth. New manager syndrome for West Ham as well. So we're getting new managers all over the place. And that sometimes put a dampener on your confidence because we can't rely on previous form because that's under previous management. Didn't really play the EFL trophies or any of the others yesterday. And as usual, you're getting over 2.5 goals in the Professional Development League. All dependent on your delaying. The longer you can delay entry, the bigger the overs odds, because pre-match, they're just awful. Because the market knows this is going to be overs. 1.5, relatively high. So you could have got edging towards 1.8, 1.75, 1.8 for overs. You'd be out by half time. Brentford, 26th minute again. So if you can delay at least 15 minutes, wait for the over 2.5 goal odds to get bigger. All you need is one goal before half time and you are out. Coupe de France didn't really play that yesterday, but Guingamp, getting there eventually, did come from behind on 2 occasions. And again, in-play stats proving are crucial to your confidence in that regard. But playing the Cup can be a bit of a frightener. We ended the night on the Cup with PSV. I did mention on Telegram, if you went over 2.5 goals or over 3.5 goals, that neutral play would have paid out very nicely, with Excelsior leading 1-3. PSV made it 3-3. You could have laid Excelsior as low as 1.07. I was already involved, as you can see, with a loading up on PSV, 172 quid, 9 quid on the draw, £42 loss on Excelsior. But got the 3-3 eventually. Could have been a lot bigger profit. So it was a day, really, yesterday, of leaving a lot of profit on the table. Should have been more confident in the in-play stats, and that would have really rewarded us nicely. So hopefully I'll be more on my game today. Everton, new manager, David Moyes. So just be a little wary. Can't really do any research when you've got a new manager, can we? You just saw what happened with West Ham. So be careful. Aston Villa, away from home. Dick Emery has them scoring 2 goals. So this isn't going to be your ultra defensive Everton, I would suggest. Leicester and Crystal Palace. New manager for Leicester, Ruud van Nistelrooy, but he's all over the place, let's be honest. Crystal Palace starting to purr a little bit. Newcastle and Wolves, it really should be Wolves to the slaughter. Newcastle flying high, top 4, top 5. You can have a look at the standings. So let's have a look. New manager for Wolves as well means we can't really look at their seasonal form. We can look at their recent form under new management. Win, scoring 2 plus, win, scoring 2 plus, draw, scoring 2 plus. Then they suddenly meet high flying, now top 2 Nottingham Forest, and they concede 3 goals. So they're going to be vulnerable against the big guns, Wolves, you'd think. And they're playing Newcastle, who we've just seen are, like Nottingham Forest were, top 5. So I think Wolves are going to be vulnerable this evening. And it's a North London derby. I wouldn't be taking these odds as read at all. Yes, I know Tottenham had a battling performance against the mighty Tamworth. I know that that really took a lot out of them. They did rest a lot of players, but you just seen derby-style matches like Atalanta-Juventus. It's all down to the in-play stats. Kai Havertz is not really firing up front. They haven't really got an Ian right up front, an established centre forward. That's their Achilles heel, the arse. So going to be an interesting match. As ever with derby-style matches, you can't rely on any form lines, and certainly I wouldn't be backing the Arsenal at those odds, that's for sure. Bundesliga, great to see that out and about. Bochum and St. Pauli, 2.7 the favourite, tells you everything you need to know. It's going to be a competitive affair. We can have a look at why the market can't split these two. And this will perhaps reinforce for you that getting involved in 2.7 the favourite matches, you have to rely on in-play stats or just have a bit of discipline and don't play at all. It looks, if you can see all that red, as if these are 2 sides worth avoiding. Certainly Bochum Dano, just the 1 win coming in the last home match prior to the winter break. St. Pauli got that excellent win against Stuttgart, but they don't win that often. They picked up a few wins on the road, so they'll be a little confident there, St. Pauli. They did score against Bayer Leverkusen as well. Got a win against the Hoff and a win against Freiburg, so they can win. But 2.7 the favourite is giving both teams a chance. You can probably tell they're probably going to be bottom or thereabouts. Bottom of the league, playing 14th, notably scoring 2+ goals against 16th and 17th. Will that continue against 14th? St. Pauli against strugglers, 0-2 win, 3-1 win at home, and a 0-2 loss. So they do get their wins away from home. That is why it's 2.7, the favourite. It's very, very unclear who's to be favoured here. Watch out for second half goals. You can see that 5 goals scored in the last half hour of away matches for St. Pauli. That might be their key to success today. But 2.7, the favourite, tells you everything you need to know. Bayern Munich and the half, normally we see a goal before half time. And I did a little experiment with Leverkusen yesterday. I laid over 0.5 goals, first half goals, and I delayed. And then I laid the draw at odds on. I got out once both the loss for the lay the draw and the profit for laying over 0.5 goals equaled about 13 quid. And I got out for a break even with the opportunity of cashing in for something like a £50 or £60 profit should we see that single goal. So it's something that I could show you during a live stream if I do a live stream this evening. Bayern Munich and the half. Watch out for a goal before halftime. 1.13 normally suggests you're expecting a goal before halftime, expecting 3+ goals, but they were very lackluster against Mönchengladbach. They needed a Harry Kane penalty to get the win. Stuttgart and Leipzig, 1.85. We can have a look at this match. It's very unclear, this particular match. Leipzig suddenly turning up against Werder Bremen, but they've been totally unreliable. Stuttgart, recent loss to St. Pauli, as we've just shown, so they can be a little vulnerable. Can the form lines show us anything? 3 wins in 4, but coming off the back of the winter break, very nice win against Werder Bremen, and that deserved win against Stuttgart. Oh, Dennis the Menace getting a goal there. See that St. Pauli, the only real aberration since November for a Stuttgart who are finding their feet, scoring 2+ goals. Challenge table will reveal all where these two are in relation to each other. It's 8th against 4th, so it's a top 8 clash, but notably, where's the win for Stuttgart? Notably too, conceding 2+ goals in all bar this match here. This was one of these Champions League type matches, like Man City suddenly losing, etc. This was one of those, a very rare 0-0 for Leverkusen. So we could see both teams scoring without Stuttgart necessarily winning. Leipzig, for their sins, well, they've got to win against Leverkusen. They've beaten Mainz, scoring 2 goals, but then they can put in this kind of a performance and a loss to Dortmund. So we might be better served with the neutral both teams to score angle this evening. 62% overs at home, 50-50 away. So that's inconclusive as far as over 2.5 goals is concerned when you've got 50%. Home for the home side, away for the away side. Watch out for late goals in Stuttgart matches. 7 goals scored. We did that with Celtic yesterday, don't forget, against Dundee. We looked at Celtic stats late on, and I told you on Telegram to lay Dundee 3-2 up. And guess what we got? If I can just break and show you. What did we get? Drum roll, please. Celtic and Dundee. This is why I keep telling you, use soccerstats.com, because this form is embedded. These patterns for Celtic are embedded. You've just seen it there, that match I've been looking at. Kaching, Engels, the philosopher, getting a 93rd minute penalty win. Dundee have put together 2 consecutive solid home performances against the Old Firm. Come out with 2 score draws. So do look out for that. That's why we look at these goal times. Have them in the back of your mind. If this is a draw late on, if Leipzig are winning by a single goal late on, can Stuttgart make that late goal scoring count. Second half goal, 72% scored second half, so it's 0-0 at half time. A bit like Man City and Brentford. You might want to look at laying that draw. So inconclusive for me. I'm not sure how I would approach this one, but certainly it's an embedded pattern, isn't it? It's consistently failing to beat the top 7, Stuttgart. So that should have them a little vulnerable. Let me just show you that Celtic stat so you can spot these yourself. Because if I'm not about, you should be able to do this yourself. Celtic away from home. This is why this is such a crucial bit of kit from November onwards, because we've got all of these patterns emerging. Away from home, it was 10 goals scored in the last 15 minutes, make it 11. You look at their previous match against Ross County, 2 90th minute goals. And again, Engels, the philosopher, getting yet another penalty. And Luke McGowan just putting a gloss on it. Superb stuff. Late goal habits, particularly from the old philosopher Engels. 83rd minute goal there. 81st, 73rd, 81st. So they got a real good late goal habit. The only way you can find that out, use soccerstats.com. Completely free. But make sure you've got the advertising blocker turned off. That way you don't have to pay the fee. So that was just a gentle reminder to you of yesterday for members on Telegram. I can dig out those beauties for you and you can profit from a nice, late, low risk, high reward, late lay of a Dundee lead. So that was the Stuttgart-Leipzig match. Late goals, possibility for Stuttgart. Union Berlin and Augsburg are two sides, much of a muchness. I can have a quick look at this one, but it's going to reveal not much at all, I would suspect. These are two mediocre sides, can't get a handle on. What we did with Union Berlin last season, we found a real strong pattern. Whenever the market had them at odds on, particularly at home, they delivered. We don't see that pattern today. Last season, it was the other way round. It was all red the first half. Then suddenly they were inserted as favourite at home. And you're asking yourself why? Because they've got no form lines, but the market got them right. But this is awful stuff, isn't it, for Union Berlin, and awful for Augsburg as well. It's just suggesting we can't really trust this lot, can we? All of Augsburg wins have come at home. 3 of Union Berlin's 4 wins have come at home, but both sides have been pretty awful since November. So some matches you simply can't play because you can't read or you can't trust the teams. As a football trader, you pick the ones which are most likely or have the highest probability of giving you a profitable outcome. Now we've got a big gap between 8th and 15th away. Big question mark. We don't know how Augsburg will perform against 12th. At home, certainly, to be trusted, but away, with this kind of form, as Les Dennis would say. Union Berlin, unbeaten against 3rd and lower, given a slight advantage today, you would suspect, on that form only. Again, goal times could be crucial. You saw with Stuttgart, you saw with Celtic. It's about 50-50 really for Augsburg, but Union Berlin do the vast majority of their scoring in the first half. So this could be a good one to lay over 0.5 goals initially and delay. Hopefully you get the draw odds dropping and then you can create for yourself a break even with the chance of winning big. I do like that scenario. So not finest pair, but Union Berlin unbeaten against 3rd and lower, I think it was, at home. So slight advantage to them today. Werder Bremen putting up a good fist of it against Leipzig recently. Playing Heidenheim, expected to deliver. Inter Milan, 1.53 is relatively high for them. They have a game in hand, so you'd expect them to make it count. Game in hand because they were playing the Super Cup. They won't They've got 2 games in hand over Napoli, so get that win today. They're putting pressure on Napoli. Only 1 point in it with another game in hand. So this is crucial. Bologna, well, they're knocking on the door. Get a win today. They're up to 32, but not on goal difference. But they're there or thereabouts for a Conference League qualifying place with the possibility of upgrading to the Europa League. Get a few more points and you're up into the Champions League phase. So Bologna, crucial for them today as well. If you want a quick look at research, then Soccer 24 will do that for you. Inter Milan at home, scoring 2+ goals. Bologna away, well, 2 consecutive clean sheets, albeit one of them in the Champions League. 3 clean sheets. Oh no, they failed to score. So they're a bit up and down, aren't they? But I would be favouring Inter Milan, and it's all dependent on the in-play stats. Any other matches? Well, we've just got the Belgian Cup. Not much else to appeal. Some of the second string in the Czech 1 League. Blackburn against Pompey. Got a 1.75 home favourite. Pompey, I think, are down near the relegation zone, aren't they? Yeah, they are in the relegation zone. A win today will take them out of the relegation zone. So that's a big incentive for them. Blackburn, 7, they could go top 6 into the playoff places. So huge momentum or interest from both teams today. Suggests any late draw is layable. Professional Development League at 2 o'clock, highly likely to be over 2.5 goals. Coupe de France, well, you saw with Guingamp yesterday, and you saw with PSV yesterday. You can't really trust these sides, can you? But we've got 1.02 PSG. I think I've shown you amply that you can make a big profit. 1.02, 1.06. You're looking for 3 scorelines between 0-4 and 0-9. We got it right with Man City, 8-0. We've got a couple of 4-0s in the FA Cup, Chelsea, and a couple of other scorelines around wins to 0. Between 4-0, 9-0, pick out 3. You're going to get a far bigger return than 1.02 and 1.06 if you get them right. These also suggest goals before half time, but that hasn't really been firing in these cup matches. We nearly had it with Liverpool against Accrington. I backed over 2.5 first half goals. We only got 2, but between 4-0 and 9-0. So certainly members, I will be following you on Telegram this evening. I've yet to decide whether to do a live stream. I think if I did a live stream yesterday, I would have picked up for you all of those magical plays that we left a lot of money out there. But certainly it will be a Telegram for members, but I might do a live stream. And the only way to find out is to subscribe to youtube.com/@footballtradingprofits. The majority of live streams will be for members only. I will open them up for non-members now and again, like I did last Saturday, and that was a very profitable session. It looks another excellent coupon. Going to learn my lesson from yesterday. Very strong bent on in-play stats, because that would have served us very well. And trusting the in-play stats, that's more implicit, trusting them. I didn't trust them yesterday. Should have trusted them, would have made a lot more money. Have a great day. I will certainly be seeing members late on, and I might hop on for a live stream. So keep an eye on youtube.com/@footballtradingprofits. I'll let you know if I do hop on. It's all, again, dependent on whether my parents need me. That's the whole reason I've extended my stay, to look after my elderly parents, as my dad is getting a bit more immobile. So they are the priority, but so are you as well. Have a great day. I'll certainly be seeing you 7:30, and perhaps for the earlier kickoff.